with $50,000 in payouts in a single month, with multiple six figures in lifetime payouts.
I am always saying psychology is the biggest part. Some people say, no, that's wrong, it's technicals. There are a lot of courses out there, right? Why is not every student a millionaire? They have the strategy, right? But why? Because at the end it comes to the psychology, and the psychology is connected to the character.
Introducing Grecko, the prop firm trader. He started trading as a young man, working a regular 9 to 5, and in a short amount of time, utilizing his skill sets and prop firms to make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
At the end, what is a trader? We are professional decision makers. And how can you make a great decision? Basically, when you have clarity of mind, when you can clearly think about. It is easy to say don't have emotions. I'm always saying we are not robots. Everyone will have emotions. Doesn't matter if he's a millionaire or a billionaire. But the difference is the top tier guys know when to cap their emotions, when to say, okay, maybe I am a little bit fearful, but I will not place another trade. Or I will not drag the stop loss bigger.
We're filming in October, so it's important to mention that because the space changes quick. But right now, what would you say is the most reliable prop firms in your experience?
That's a good question, to be honest.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode. I'm joined by someone I can't escape you on Twitter. I keep seeing your tweets every time, Grecko. He's flown in from Turkey to be here for the podcast. And this month, October, you've done, if I'm not mistaken, $55,000 in payouts. That's an epic month you've had. And in general, just seeing your podcast and the things you've been doing, this is not a first time. You're used to getting a lot of payouts, and I think for over a year you've been consistently getting payouts. So I think in terms of credentials, that checkbox is there. But I want to speak about the reality of prop firm trading. The highs and lows, obviously, you have to spend a lot to get the prop firm accounts. You maybe failed the challenges and that whole psychology. Whereas a lot of traders are just trying to get their first account, to get funded one time. And I'm sure you've been funded many times and lost accounts. Let's speak about that journey of being a highly funded trader with a lot of payouts.
Sure. So I'm basically at the moment 1.7 million in funding, but it's different. Sometimes 1.5, sometimes I hit the 2 million. The thing is about prop trading, what I see, because I have a lot of students in Germany as well now, international students. I am always saying psychology is the biggest part. Some people now say, no, that's wrong, it's technicals. And I know, obviously, we need technical sides and technical skills. Mm-hmm. But you can have the best technicals. There are a lot of courses out there, right? From every millionaire, every billionaire, zillionaire, whatever, everyone is dropping a course. Why is not every student a millionaire? They have the strategy, right? How they approach the charts. But why? Because at the end, it comes to the psychology. And the psychology is connected to the character, the own persona, I say. Mm-hmm. And that's why I always say to my own students, and they hopefully understand, that psychology is literally the key factor. It's the foundation of the trading business. After that, you can skill up, for example, your own strategies, market behavior, let's say, fundamentals and everything else. But everything starts with the psychology. Okay. And I think I really dig deep into this topic back then, and that's the way.
Cool.
Why?
Okay, let's get into that, because there's a few things to say here, and it's a big debate I've had on the show with many guests, where some people have said, well, if you give 20 people the same strategy, the same mechanical checkboxes, and each person has a different performance, that's obviously because their psychology was different. Understood. But on the other side of the spectrum, I've had people say, well, let's say if I brought in David Goggins, mindset on point, psychology on point, done the craziest things, and he has the discipline, focus, everything you would want. But if you start teaching him trading, maybe he wouldn't get it right away. And, I wouldn't imagine he would be the best trader in the world. So there is that fine line of psychology, but what is important in psychology? And somebody says that term, it can mean a lot of things. So navigating that in your years, what did you find psychology actually meant?
Basically, there's a key, and it is clarity of mind. And this is not only about trading, it's about life. But at the end, what is a trader? We are professional risk managers, but at the same time, in different words, we are professional decision makers, right? And how can you make a great decision? Basically, when you have clarity of mind, when you can clearly think about side B and side A, and then compare them and, for example, execute based upon your, let's say, experience, knowledge, and own thoughts. Yeah, clarity of mind.
I want to put a pin in the topic of psychology and bring it with another thing together, which is, well, first of all, because when I see through your Twitter, I see a lot of blue, and I see a lot of like big numbers and every day different updates, and it's cool to see. But I want to kind of get into what is your philosophy in terms of, are you the risk small, slowly grow accounts and have large capital, almost $2 million, or do you do also flips, account flips from a small amount to a large amount?
Basically both.
Okay.
I back then, like years ago, I said the goal is not to be like sharp in one point and one skill set, but to be like the golden all-rounder. Okay. If you can do everything well, it's better than when you can do one thing like really good, but you're like really bad in like a lot of different stuff. Because as I said at the beginning, you can have the best technicals, but if you really, let's say, suck at the psychology part, you will still never ever see like consistency in trading. And yeah, like that's the point, like the all-rounder.
Okay, so when you have like two different ways of trading, one which is probably aggressive risk and scaling it, versus large capital, conservative, and following the rules of prop firms, probably two different mindsets, two different psychologies. So let's go one at a time. So the one which is, you have the prop firms, you're trying to get funded, then you acquire capital and you do that whole journey. What kind of importance do you have in psychology there? I know you mean like mental clarity, so that's like clearing up your life so you don't have emotions to bring to the market. But in general, like what are the typical emotions you've seen in yourself and also in your students when it comes to prop firms? Maybe panicking when they get funded, or getting really depressed when you have 1% drawdown. There might be certain emotions that are very regular. What are those and how did you solve them?
There are literally like thousands of different emotions. For example, fear of losing profits, fear of losing the trade in general. Let's see, fear of big red numbers, fear of losing streak now, and maybe fear of the final trade to pass the challenge, but then you lose and then you keep losing until the account is blown. Like there are multiple different ways, but at the end it's like all connected to as I say, like it's clarity. And I mean with clarity, not even like have your life under control, just have your mind under control, I always say like you are not what you think, you are the thing in your mind which allows the thoughts which came inside. We're all like thinking different stuff every day, like thousands of thoughts, and you are the one who allows, like who says, okay, you can go inside me and you're blocked. I reject you. For example, it is easy to say like don't have emotions. I'm always saying we are not robots. Everyone will have emotions. Even I have emotions when I'm trading, and I think every other trader, it doesn't matter if he's a millionaire or a billionaire, everyone is still like trading with emotions. But the difference is the top tier guys know when to like cap the emotions, when to say, okay, maybe I am a little bit fearful, but I will not place another trade, or I will not drag the stop loss bigger, whatever. It's like the details when you're going, let's say, to the road to the top performer. I mean, I'm still on the way. I'm like far away from the top, but when I compare myself to other people, I am trading for 2.5 years. Like,
oh, not long actually.
Yeah, 2.5 years. And this is literally 2.5 years. Like, I have no background story. I didn't know what Euro USD or SAU USD means. I didn't know it until March 2022, because that was the day where I started trading.
Well, 2.5 years to make 50K in a month, I would say that's pretty quick success. And that kind of brings me to the point of psychology when you are in a winning period, whether that's you've had a 50K payout or you're just about to get funded and you're on that winning streak. Winning at a young age, winning and seeing a lot of money compared to maybe your hometown and the people your age, the things you're maybe doing is not normal. Yeah. That kind of winner's mindset is a way to get there. But also when you're in that winning mode, a lot of things can also come where you have maybe overconfidence, maybe ego, maybe thinking you'll never lose the trade because you won a lot in a row. I don't know. All these emotions can also come on the other side. What were those? And how do you try and deal with that? Because 2 years is nothing.
Yeah. Like I would say the 2.5 years I'm trading equals, like, let's say for 4 years of an average trader, because I was literally trading every day. Like, I am not even joking. I was literally trading every day, and not even that, every session, like Asia session, London, New York. I'm like literally. And that's why I, like, let's say, had a lot of experience with trading, with mistakes, and every mistake you mentioned, I had, like everything you can possibly imagine. Let's say 10K on a fund account up and blown on the same day. I did everything of it back then in the years. In my first year, it was crazy.
Do you look back and think that was good? Like going through all of these tough experiences?
Definitely, it was needed, because the funny part is, like, I always get like messages also from people from my hometown, but also from social media, and they ask like, hey, what's the best advice? What's the fastest way to get success? And I am saying that, bro, just get the demo account, literally trade for a half a year. Like, don't think about making any single dollar, because everything you will make, you will still lose in the first year. It's like guaranteed, I would say. Yeah. And why? Because we are humans, and we always think there are like exceptions, like, I can do it. Like, this time I break the rule, but it will work out. But it will not. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but maybe in a month, you will lose everything, and then you will suffer. And the only way to go through the suffering is when you really accept you need fixed rules. You can't play around, and you need to take this serious.
So out of the dozens and dozens of prop firms that exist in the whole space, who can we really trust? Whether they use slippage, whether they use types of drawdown, unrealistic trading conditions, every single prop firm has hidden tricks. So after thorough research and speaking to a lot of traders, Alpha Capital is definitely the best prop firm in the space. So apart from their no commissions, low spread, no slippage, great reputation, never denying a payout, because you are a Titans of Tomorrow viewer, you get a special discount on every evaluation just using the link or using the code TOT for Titans of Tomorrow. When you do sit in a period where you've made 6 figures in a very short amount of time, at a young age, what did you have to go through still living in the hometown that you were?
To be honest, that question also confuses me, because like somehow I don't see like much differences to back then.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe it's because like I'm a little bit like straightforward when people are like joking, say, you have money, you can buy. I'm like, bro, work and you can do it too. Why should I pay or whatever? And then since then, like everyone's like silence. Maybe it's like a one-time conversation, and then it will happen never again. So basically, I can say I never see like any big difference or people treating me differently, and. Yeah.
What about in terms of the accounts? So I guess when you were first starting out, you were starting out with a demo or small money, and then you had your first funded account. So maybe let's say 50 or 100K. Now when you're trading across everything, almost $2 million, the loss that used to be 2K, now maybe it's 10K. And that adjustment in a relatively short amount of time, was that hard to do? Because it's easy to say think in percentages, think in pips, but the reality is you will see that big blue number, and it can have an effect.
Yeah, I see like I need a good example. For example, like a gummy band or whatever you can stretch, and each time you see a new number. For example, you see the first time 10K, first time 5K. You're stretching it, but then it goes like back to the let's say baseline.
Yes.
But it is now stretched. And if you do it more and more and more and often, like the gummy band, let's say, it will get it will get bigger and wider, and you will get used to it. For example, I remember my first payout was after 3 months of trading on TFT, the funded trader, and I hit the 10K payout.
Solid.
Back to the story, I had literally 1K on the bank account, and my max record was maybe 2K. So basically, I get 10K. I never saw 10K in my life. And that was crazy. I couldn't sleep for 2 days before the payout date because I couldn't believe I will get the 10K, And the same logic or the same thing applies to like each level. Let's say 5K, 10K, 20K. And now I am like around 50K. I still didn't hit like a 6-digit month, but I was really close to it in May this year. Let's try it again. And now it's like just getting used to it. The more you're getting used to it, it will get like, let's say, a norm for you, a standard, Mm-hmm. And each day or each experience will like higher your standard, at least for me. And even if you lose, it's the same thing with the downside. Mm-hmm. You never saw a 1K loss, then a 5K loss, and 10K loss. And you're learning and learning. First, you will get afraid, frustrated, sad, maybe angry. But one day, the day will come, it will be fine because you see it a lot of times, and then you're like, okay, cool, like nothing special.
A big pattern I've seen from traders that do reach a payout one, especially if it's a large one like a 10K, and especially if they've never seen money like that before, just from speaking to prop firm founders, the behavior after that day is completely different. Now, we don't know what that is, whether it's like people get too excited and overtrade, or they think they're the boss and take reckless trades, or they start to risk too much because they've got this cushion. But more often than not, people that reach payout one usually blow the account right after.
I had a good story for this. After the 10K, the payout was on, I think it was 9th June 2022. And after that, I literally thought I cracked the code, I cracked the system, I am the smartest guy on the planet. I lost the funded account in the next few weeks. I bought a few more challenges, lost all of them, bought more, lost all of them over a period of like 5 months until winter 2022. Around, it was November to December. I lost all the 10K gone. I lost my monthly salary on the way. Like I was earning $800. I bought like 200Ks, gone. I had zero. And then I used my life savings, like it was like 2-3 grand, done. And then I was at the point, it was November, I had nothing, like literally nothing. And I was thinking, because I couldn't give up, you know, I was like, no way, I have a debit card.
Oh, you mean credit, sorry.
Yeah, credit card.
Yes.
I need to buy one last challenge, 200K. If I blow this, I'm done. I am like literally cooked, but it will not happen. I am the G, I can do it. I did that. I blew the account in a week. And then I was in a really, it was my rock bottom my whole life. And I'm 26. It was the worst part of my life. I couldn't even buy nothing. Like I didn't even have gas money to drive to my girlfriend back then. And she gave me like $20, $40. So I can drive to her because it was done. And I was like, damn. It's literally my mistake. It's not the chart. Like how often people blame the markets, and most importantly, like the beginners and the amateurs. You know, they're like, it's a market, it's a sweep. The market is so unfair. Now the market makers, but it's literally you, and not even, let's say, your technicals. It's you over trading and over leveraging.
This kind of a phrase that you're saying of, I see it all the time of, the market's been really bad these 2 weeks. The market's been the same, and it will be the same, is how we perceive it. I want to rewind to that moment, because now, you know, maybe a year or two later, you can look back on those days and kind of laugh, and you know, we can joke about it, let's say. But at the time, it was the most serious period in your life, and probably rock bottom, let's say.
Yeah.
And people around you were the ones holding you, lending you money and so forth. And I'm sure there's people out there that are in that period right now, and they can't look back and laugh on it because they're going through it at the moment. What do you think you did in that moment that allowed you to then climb the mountain, as opposed to maybe just give up altogether?
The crazy part is literally right after my rock bottom was the peak of my prime. December, I had no money. I was saving. I was like selling on eBay. I don't know if you know eBay. We have like, you can sell your stuff. I sell like all your stuff, and I collected like around $400 for 100K. I remember it was January, beginning of January. It was again TFT, and I said Bismillah, and I bought the 100K, because if I blew this, I would also need again 3 months until I can collect a little bit money to buy another challenge. And I didn't trade 10Ks. The thing what I did back then, between October to December, was no charts, no YouTube videos. I literally just pushed the stuff away from me, because I understood the mistake and the problem is inside my mind. It's me. So how can you change the me? Basically with like self-development, character development. So I started reading psychology books. I journal my thoughts. Now I was sitting at my table at night. I was writing down like, what was my mistakes? Why did I overtrade? I was thinking I'm the best, I can pass, but I didn't pass, and it happened 10 times in a row, 15 times in a row. So there must be a problem, a serious problem. And I was reading 2 books. I always say it: The Zen Trader, the Zen Trader, and Best Loser Wins. And look at the name, Best Loser Wins. Basically, you need to collect the mistakes and the knowledge and the experience. And if you're smart and you learn from it, It's like a premium course. You don't need to buy a course. Just look at your mistakes and learn from it. And yeah, January, first challenge, I passed, funded, 17K payout, 17K.
Wow.
I was shaking. I was like, I did it. Because 17K, it's a lot for me. It's like basically like 120, 200K right now, like, you know.
Plus it solved all your debt problem.
Yeah, everything. I was clean.
Yeah.
And the fun part is after the 70K, in the same month, I had another payout. It was like a bi-weekly. I had another 20K payout. And after 20, another 15K. I swear, like, I have everything recalled. And then there was a moment, like 2 months after my rock bottom, I quit 2 jobs. I had like 2 student jobs. And I just went full time trading, let's say. And since January 2023 until now, I have like no red month. Like literally, I have no red month. Even if the month was small, but I have no red month. I'm on the biggest winning streak. And alhamdulillah, wallah.
Alhamdulillah, bro. I want to get to payout 1 from when you were like at your rock bottom, slightly in debt, and a lot of pressures around you. You kind of remove yourself from the charts, you focus on rebuilding your mind, and then you come back, let's say, fresh. Now, I can imagine, like, it's from, we can say 17K and payout and locked in, but there's a lot of things that happen in that 0 to 17K where 1K meant a lot to you, 2K meant a lot to you because you were in a little bit of debt. So, and it's a huge payout. You could have also said, let me just get 1%, 2%, lock it in. What was that journey? Was it like 1, 2 home run trades? Was it slowly building? Because that portion is like it's the point in your life where things really changed. So what happened in that month?
It was slowly stacking up. I never did like in one trade 15K or whatever. Now I'm doing it because now I can afford to do it, right? But back then, every trade, every drawdown, every percentage is like really important. And even if you just have one, it's like really important. So basically I was just trading step by step. I had my rules. I wrote down when I was brainstorming and, you know, rethinking my whole life. And I say like 0.5 to 1%, max 2 trades or 3 trades per day. And that's it. If you lose more than 3 trades, doesn't matter how much the percentage is, you quit for the day.
Nice. Did you feel like the rules you needed were more related to loss and more related to like when to walk away from the charts, or was it strategy-based rules of how you get in, what are the confirmations you need for the trade, or was it more on risk and psychology?
To be honest, it was purely risk management and psychology. My edge, I still like, when someone is asking me, what is your edge? I don't know how to explain my edge. It's like literally I understand the moves with all the experience I like put together. Doesn't matter if it's supply, demand, trend line, smart money, whatever, everything. And I just understand the charts and execute upon it, you know. And that's the thing I did day 1. That's the same thing I did today and tomorrow. So basically the main change was risk management, because risk management is going hand in hand with psychology. And if, let's say you can't just pick a random guy and say, yo, trade, you can be as smart as possible and as educated, you will still blow the challenges. And it's not because the person is stupid or dumb, it's because they lack the risk management and the mental edge. That's the first point.
Do you think every single person, it works the same risk management strategy? Or do you think each person, based on their nature, based on their emotions, should have different rules in place?
No, everyone has different, I always say like, trading is art. It is literally art, but not art with colors, it is art with numbers. And only you can like, draw your image, draw your game, draw your picture. And that's the funny part in the industry, on Twitter, you know, people are like hating on him or him, you know, I see like, doesn't matter who it is, every trader has like a group of haters, a fan base. And the thing is, they don't understand that everyone can trade unique, different, not even everyone needs to understand who someone trades, you know? And that's the part, you know, it's art, and art you can only understand when you like try to now interpret it, but everyone has a different interpretation of it, so everyone trades different.
So with your specific psychology now, you know, away from that kind of make or break moment at rock bottom, and you got a lot of payouts under your belt, you can go 2 ways. You can say, this was what was working for me, let's keep doing that and let's not change anything. Or you can kind of have the side of, I've got a cushion, I've made a lot of money now, time to really take it to the next level, and you start to change things and maybe it works or doesn't. What did you decide to do?
So basically, I am going like in a way both ways, you know. I have I always say, like, if you play a game, for example, I don't know, let's say a fight game or whatever, you don't have just one attack, right? Like, you have different buttons, different keys, and you can like use different combos. And why don't do this with the numbers, you know? Have an account where you trade slowly. I call it the 9-to-5 account. Now, how much you earn on a 9-to-5? Maybe $100 after taxes per day. Why you don't have one account where you just play like with 0.2, 0.5 lots, make you $100, $200, push it away. Then you have your medium accounts, your high risk accounts. And
do you take the same trades on all of them, just with different risk?
No. I use every account as different, like different universe. Every account, different style, different techniques, different risk management, different what's it called?
Profit taking system.
Yeah, profit takings and the risk to rewards. Yeah.
Yes.
Like.
And okay, that sounds like it's a lot in your mind.
Yeah.
Like, do you go through and say this week is the 9-to-5 account, and then the next week is the big boy account, or you literally 2 phones, 2 laptops, managing everything?
It's literally your mood, your emotional and your, let's say, physical, spiritual mood. For example, today. Let's say today. A few days ago, I said, I'm done. I made 55K for the month. I mean, we're like 10 days into October, right? I have 55K. And I said, I will stop, but I can't, because it's not because of the money. I love trading. I enjoy it. It's like I need something stimulating my mind, you know, and I don't know, like there are like less things in life which will like literally challenge you every day, and trading is challenging you, because else we would all be like billionaires, right? And today I traded on 2 funded accounts. I made 2.7K on one, 1.6K on one. It's fine now, like it's like around 4K. We call it a day, you know, but it was like just chill, you know. One trade I was trading on in the bed. Another session I was just lying in bed watching Netflix, and I just look at the charts. Gold looked good, I longed. And today around midday I shorted gold. Now free money.
This the idea of like trading on a beach, trading in Dubai, trading from bed watching Netflix, to a lot of people that's like unprofessional, immature, and you're not taking it seriously. Well, it's the one that makes the money in the end that counts. But you know, a lot of people are like, they get so caught up in the theory, the being perfect, the looking like a trader, having the many screens. I mean, me too. I trade from my phone and a laptop. I don't have 5 screens. It doesn't serve me. And a lot of times I have traded from a beach. And these things are like, we're not supposed to. What is the reality lifestyle of a trader, and how serious do you have to be?
To be honest, back then I was thinking you need a big office, like a trading floor, 5 screens, you know, like a suit and whatever. But it literally depends on who you are. Some people can perform better when they have like an office, have like strict rules, and let's say like behave like robots. And now rule 1, rule 2, step whatever. But I want to show that there's also possible you can be like the chill, a cool dude, you know, who just, you know, lives life and on the side is trading. Like I'm only trading on my phone. People sometimes on Twitter say that he's only showing empty 5 screens. Bro, what should I show? It's literally the only thing I do on my phone. Yeah, and I say I understand, I respect when people say it's unprofessional. It could be, maybe, yeah, but at the end, the only thing that needs to be professional is your edge in your mind. I mean, you can look like, I don't know, like a homeless guy and still make millions, and you can look like the clean, super, you know, professional guy and still lose after lose and get unprofitable. Like, it doesn't matter. At the end, the only thing is your mind. If your mind is clean, if you know what you do it wherever you want. That's my philosophy behind it.
There's one sentence in there that I really liked, and obviously it's dependent on each person, but I read it somewhere, which is you should always create like an alter ego of yourself, where you consider like the best version of yourself. And it's like, you imagine what he's like. He's like super strict, super healthy, super disciplined, super focused. And you know, deep down, you're not that person yet. But you know, for example, you have some cues. Let's say you put on a blazer, you put on the shades, and you're now that guy. You're that version of yourself. And that's a good way to frame yourself, to say, okay, how would he act in this situation? What would he do? How would he risk in this scenario? And I think having your own version of an alter ego, you can kind of enable it through an environment. It's like, when I'm at the desk, I'm this guy. When I'm wearing this, I become this guy. And that can be a nice, let's say, mental trick. I want to jump back to the point you meant of a set of like different account, different strategy, different approach. So I had Andrew on the show, Andrew NFX, which again is a big prop trader. And he said that he trades all of his accounts sensibly, but he doesn't do the whole like one master account and many accounts underneath, even though he's had $5-6 million in funding. Rather, he trades almost one at a time or two at a time and kind of lock in payouts and small gains. But he also said that he has a separate account for more of the gambling stuff, the more fun stuff. And not to say he's a gambler or not to say that, it's more like you have an itch and you want to scratch it and you have it in a controlled way. That itch, do you have that of like, you want to see big numbers, you want to do crazy flips, and are you doing it in a, let's say, controlled, safe way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end, all that matters is what do you get at the end of the month, not during the process, at the beginning of the, who cares? At the end, the most important part is what do you get after the end of the month? And now everyone can find like his own way now. And as I say, my ways, I have super slow accounts, like 1 to 2K, normal accounts 2 to 5K, then let's say the average account 5 to 10, and then I got the accounts for 10 to 30K, 50K payouts. I also like reached back in May $80,000 on one funded account. It was a scale 220K funded to 800K
one
and
account.
300K. Yeah, it was one account.
Okay.
And the funny part is there was it went viral. Now I had 94 trades and 96% win rate. And I swear it's all on paper. Some people say, he was affiliate, it's like marketing. And I'm like, bro, it's literally real. You can check the whole log. And
with prop firms, especially when you're doing the bigger payouts, as we know, the space can get a little bit payout denied, and
it got denied, bro.
Oh shit, okay.
It got denied because there was a max lot rule, 80 lots, and I had for 1 minute 83 lots. I was like, come on. But yeah, I got like a partial of the whole payout, but still, it was after my rock bottom, the second biggest low phase, because I really put energy into it. I wanted now to show everyone, because there are people who don't believe or who now doubt. I did it. I was close to getting like 80 grand, but then, because
if you did it once, you can do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're filming in October, so it's important to mention that because the space changes quick. But right now, what would you say is like the most reliable prop firms in your experience?
That's a good question. To be honest, I never had bad feelings with FTMO, as well with funding pips. And yeah, I would say literally like these are the two prop firms where I like saw like the least drama. I also could mention like a lot of other firms, but I sometimes see he gets denied, and I don't know, I mean, I respect and I love a lot of firms, but I would say FTMO and funding pips, I stick to it. And yeah, like
when it comes to the actual strategy. So when I was researching about yourself, I saw you're very into momentum, and you do have a technical base, even though we spoke a lot about psychology at the moment. But I do want to get into the way you trade. Yeah. And you have kind of mentioned it's a bit of instinct and intuition and a combination of everything you learned. But let's kind of put some words to it. So when you are deciding to take a trade, what are you looking at?
Sure. Basically, I'm just looking at market structure. And with the market structure and multiple timeframes, you can get image of the momentum, right? At the end, the market is going up and down. What is it? Momentum, it's getting to zero, the momentum, and the reversal. 0 to momentum and the reversal, 100% momentum, and you just need to figure out where are like these zones where you can go in, and now it comes in supply demand, support resistance. At the same time, trend lines, maybe if I value gap, price imbalance. And it's like literally you combining everything. And like for me, what I do is like pure logic. It's not like I saw it on a video on a course and now I need to do it. It's like it makes sense. I'm like literally thinking behind why this candle happened. There's a wick on the 30-minute, but in the 1 minute it makes like a triple bottom. Can I long here or can I short? Let's look at the 4 hours. I see there's an imbalance way behind. Maybe it will most likely go short. And like you are creating a story, and the trade you're taking is like the end of the story. Yeah. And then you can see, for example, you're expecting like let's say a sharp drop, but the chart is consolidating a little bit too long. Let's say you expect the move in 5 minutes, but it consolidates for 30 minutes. Then I would still be down to close the trade. It doesn't matter if I'm like $100 in profit or $100 in a loss. I would close it because it invalidates my story about the chart, you know?
As a trader, it's very simple. You have to find an edge and then you have to have a mind so you can follow that edge. But how do you know if you're performing correctly or not? You have to know your data. And TradeZeller is going to show you everything that you need beyond the surface level win rates and performance and equity curve. It's going to show you detailed reports. It's going to be your back testing tool, strategy testing tool, playbooks, notes, and it's going to be a full journal. It makes your journaling easier, faster, and more meaningful. Whereas if you were just documenting it on an Excel spreadsheet or taking screenshots on your iPhone, you wouldn't be able to pull out the data that you need. The correlations that the AI within TradeZeller is pulling out for you. There's so much variety and utility within the software that I think it's essential for any trader. So the link somewhere below is going to take you directly to the TradeZeller website. I'm not getting paid. This is for you. If you want it, if you like it, go ahead and explore it. And probably you'll be using it for years to come. If speed of reaction, speed to going towards your profit levels is important. Let's say you close the trade and it still goes in that direction what you expected, but it didn't do it in the way you wanted. I guess therefore you're prioritizing the volatility and you're waiting for maybe a sweep of liquidity or a reaction point and then immediate reaction. Does that bring you down to, let's say, you have to focus on the lower time frames, the M5, M1, and is time of day important to kind of capture that volatility?
So basically what I do is just, I am also scalping. I'm scalping a lot, but when I looked at my stats from like one of my longest funded accounts, it said my average trade duration was 55 minutes. I expected to be like a little bit less, you know. I was thinking like 20 minutes, but it was 55 minutes, so 1 hour. So basically, when you split the 1 hour candle into 1 minute, you have 60 candles. And in the 60 candles, you can literally find an edge, you know. Obviously not when you're just like copy paste trading a strategy, because then you're just waiting like checklist A, B, C, D. Oh, you missed the move. But I am more impulsive, and I also have like two different entry let's say strategies. It's like the aggressive one, the impulsive one, and the passive one. The impulsive one is like you're betting on a breakout, and now you're for a trend continuation on an aggressive way. At the same time, I have like the passive one where you're waiting until it touches another zone. People say like what's it called, like a retest or whatever, and then you can join. And I have like literally both. And in the moment, you're deciding like when the volatility is so crazy, why are you waiting for another retest? Because maybe it will not happen, you know? And all of that.
When you are in a zone of like in drawdown or the account is struggling, do you modify and say, I'm only going to take the passive trades after the test, or you're trading equally, both entry types?
Equally. It's like literally, it depends on the situation.
And the consolidation you're seeing, and then you're waiting for the break in the momentum.
Yeah.
Obviously you haven't seen the sign yet because at the moment it's consolidating. When you don't have the momentum yet, but you're anticipating it, what are you looking for to kind of say, okay, the momentum should be bullish out of this consolidation?
I have a good example, but I don't know, maybe it sounds like weird on English. I always say that on German. I say always imagine like a water wave, you know, a wave of water, for example. Now imagine like a 2 meter water wave is going to the left side. At the same time, we have a small 50 centimeter water wave going to the right side. Which one will like dominate the other one? Obviously the bigger one. And that's the same thing. You're looking at the higher time frame, big, huge candle, let's say 1 hour, big wick, it's going down, it's consolidating. Most likely it will go still to the direction where the main impulse was come from. And then you're just waiting. Do you want to execute when the momentum is really slow? For example, sometimes you get like candles inside of candles like for a long time. And people think, the momentum is dying. It's not dying. It's just the first move which is dying, but the next will come, and it will come like within the next few minutes, you know. And then I'm entering. I have my story, for example, if it breaks this order block, if it breaks this impulsive candle, the momentum is gone, and I put my stop loss beneath it, you know, or like, behind it.
When you have, I'm understanding what you're saying of like building a story, utilizing multiple time frames, trend, market structure, imbalances, like you can actually take a lot of things. Now, a lot of people will do that. They'll watch all the YouTube videos, they'll buy a few courses, and they have so much information now. And now they are stuck in the, analysis paralysis, or maybe not even paralysis, more like confusion of like, these 5 things say I should buy, these 5 things say I should sell. I trust both of them. I've tested both of them, and it's how you mix them together, which is what counts. So do you have kind of a hierarchy to say these 3 things are the most important things, and these things are important, but there will not be the big wave, there will not be the small wave that eats the big wave in the analogy you gave?
To be honest, it is difficult to say, because it really depends on the moment, because you can make like infinite different combos of candles, and every combo could mean something different. But like higher time frame zones are important, but at the same time, the way how the price flows is important. For example, I catched a good trade. It was Monday. It was Sunday to Monday. Like I'm like literally, when the week opens, I'm trading, and most likely I have like to 80% of win rate. When I'm like trading, and I was with 2 traders. I don't want to name the names, and they both said, gold is short. But I opened like a long, but I didn't tell no one, because then we will discuss and people like try to talk out of me or whatever. I just went to long. After they said like, but why you guys say it's short? Because it's looking bearish. It was maybe like the people can check it in the history. The chart opened like from the bottom, peaked. There was like a big wick, and it went down, peaked again, another big wick. And then it was like at the middle range of the big candles. And they said like, it's bearish. I longed until like a higher high. I was like expecting a higher high. I made 10 grand on that trade on the funded, while like they like literally, they were on the trade as well. And then I asked like, what did you see? And I was like, it was literally the same what I saw, like what I say a few minutes ago. It's an impulsive move. You're trying to find a good entry point, and you're riding the wave, until something happens which will like, let's say, break the momentum, like a really huge red candle, maybe a retest, we can't break the highs, another breakdown, and then okay, now it's like literally the momentum is shifting. But before that happens, why you try to like reverse short on a lower time frame? It's dangerous.
If you're kind of on the charts ready to potentially take a trade from like market open on a Sunday, and probably all the way to market close throughout the week, and especially if you're trading momentum, volume momentum can come multiple times a day on the session open and so forth, news events, everything else. So just to get a context, how many good trades do you think can happen in the market in a week in let's say 1 or 2 currency pairs?
Now, a lot of people will disagree. In a week, I would say you could get like 20 great trades at least. But obviously you can't pick everyone, because sometimes you will miss the moves. But also it depends which time frame you pick. Obviously when you're trading the 4 hours, but you can't like find 20 setups. But when you're looking at the 1 to 15 minutes, just look at the charts. They're always like big moves. Sometimes, for example, we had bank holidays. Everyone's like screaming, don't trade, no, low volume. It was crazy volume. And I made huge trades on that. Now, and people are always saying that bank holidays, don't trade, the chart, the market is dying. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, where is the chart dying? Look at the charts.
When I hear these kind of claims, I say, okay, go on back test and tell me which day was bank holiday.
Exactly.
The charts look the same pretty much every day. Okay, I want to get into the win rate you mentioned that you had, which was, if you remind me what it was.
Around 80, 70, 80.
Okay, to achieve a 80 plus % win rate, let's say, and you can have multiple opportunities a day. What are you doing to have such a high win rate? And some things could be like, because you might be taking risky trades for what people may consider, but are you then having a very quick break-even protocol, or your decision making of like, you get in the trade, it's not looking as you want, you get out? What is the approach to have such a high win rate?
It's basically experience. Like for real, it is experience. I have always like example, like who can play better football. Like this is like a really random example again. A young kid who's just watching YouTube videos, Cristiano Ronaldo, football skills, Messi, whatever. Or a kid in Brazil who's playing barefoot without shoes everyday football. Obviously he will smoke this guy, and when you give him education on football and support him, he will get the next Neymar, for example. And that's like my approach. I trade literally a lot. I can't tell a number, but I could easily say I out-traded like a lot of people, like even people who like trading for 5 years. I was trading every day, like, and people say, oh, it's over trading. I'm like, bro, it is over trading when you have a rule and trade over the rule. But when my rule is 10 trades, easy, or 5 trades a day, why is it over trading when I place 5 trades, you know? And like that's the only way for it.
I want to ask you a question. So if you're taking a lot of trades and you have a high win rate, these are all good signs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, let's say you have a bad moment. Let's say you're assuming 1% risk per trade. You can also have potentially 10% exposure on an account in a day. And obviously that could blow a funded account scenario. And obviously when you're 6 losses down in a single day, that can be quite a lot in your mind. Even though it's within your rules, the emotions can also kick in.
Yeah.
And obviously
Exactly.
these things are normal, like going through 10 wins in a row and 10 losses in a row. When you're trading that aggressively, you've probably had both in a day. How are you able to kind of counteract the spiral that may come where you've taken 4 or 5 losses and it's still London session?
The funny part is when I say 5 to 10 trades, I don't mean like literally trades. I mean trades when you're on a winning streak. When I lose 3 trades or 2 meaningful trades, let's say with 1.5 or 2% risk, I'm done, you know. But when I win, I keep going and keep going until either I have like a loss and I say, okay, it's done, or maybe I lose another one and then I'm done. But let's say I start tomorrow, we have Tuesday, right? And let's say I'm starting as a session, loss. I'm like, okay, as a session is done. Then I'm trying on London, loss. Then I'm probably done for the whole day because I know my psychology gets affected. Maybe my ego gets like a little bit attacked and I was like, no, I need the money. But you know, I learned over the times how to like play with myself. And that's the thing. Everyone has like a different persona. Everyone has like different strengths and weaknesses in his like psychology character, you know. Some people like get too quickly, you know, mad. Other ones like get confused and just do random stuff. And I was like someone who has like I'm a perfectionist. I didn't know I was until like I was in Antalya. When was it? Like last month. I had 2 pending payouts and I received them. It was 16K on Alpha and 16K on funding pips. And I got 2 4K payouts on FTMO. That was like around 40 or whatever. And then I had another 16K on funding pips. And the funny part is, and that was the first time in my life where I was really mad and like really mad. I had a winning trade, but it was because of a news. So the trades got subtracted like of my profits.
Okay.
And this affected my daily drawdown. It was 2K profits got subtracted. So I had basically 3K left on the daily. I didn't know it. And then I was trading, risking like the I think it was $3,200. Account was breached. I lost the funding account. I don't know why. My goal was also that I was super mad. I like literally super mad, like at least for like 4 hours, 5 hours. I don't know why, because I want like to now get better and better. And it's not about the money. It's just about now proving to myself, not even the people, to myself, that I will like outsmoke one day like 90% of the whole community, you know, and like with a respectful, you know, approach. And then a few hours later, when my mind calmed down, I was laughing. I was like, bro, you made 40 grand and you're getting literally upset because you lost like 16K. I mean, okay, it's 16K, but still, I had 40 and I got literally super mad. My whole like morning was done because of that, you know?
This brings me on to an important point, which is a lot of traders' goal is, when you don't have money, is to utilize prop firms to make a lot of money and then eventually put it into your own account to then trade that without the rules and the problems that prop firms can have. Is that typical journey something you are doing, or how are you approaching it now that you've gone past the 20, 30, 50, 80K mark?
So basically, I am in a way lazy. And this is like, for example, I never traded futures. Everyone says, bro, you trade, you could easily make like a crazy amounts when you like trade on 20 Apex accounts. But it's not because I don't want to or because I'm shy. I'm literally lazy to like read into like a new whole world, futures, opening and trading on the PC, you know? And the same stuff, I happened like on the point where sometimes it is hard for me, you know, to just say, okay, this is a new world, let's do it, you know.
Zero. Okay.
I have like, for example, prop firms, it's going well. Why should I like open a huge own capital account? I know it is a next logical step, I know it, but I still like don't do it. I like more to flip accounts. I flip like a few 2K accounts, like to a few low 5-digit range, and then pull the money out. I had one crazy flip. It was 1K to 90, to 1K to 43K. Close to 50. My goal was to 50, and then I wanted to split to 5-10K accounts.
Okay.
But what happened? I literally blew that account.
From 43 to
Yeah,
0.
I blew it completely. And then I got like a huge, it was a few months ago. I think it was when I was in Germany, like 5 months ago. And I was like, bro, like I'm not rich. 40 grand is a lot. I could buy like my parents a car, whatever. I could do like crazy stuff. And I blew it, and I was like, now let's stick to the props.
Okay.
Let's take more money. And maybe my goal is like to have a 100K account because I'm used to the big numbers. I don't want to flip anymore, because then you're like, oh, well, risking, at least me. And then I will just trade like the props, 1%, 2% risk, do it for the rest of your life, you know. And then maybe you will look back and have 500,000 accounts.
What are you doing, or are you doing anything to kind of, you don't want to end up in a situation where you're back at your rock bottom, and even though you had a lot of payouts, things get eaten up from, well, you're living at home now, you're kind of living across the world in Dubai, in Turkey, so your lifestyle expenses have gone up, and you're obviously still relying on the prop firms. The industry is a bit shaky. I'm wondering what you're doing with a lot of your excess profits in terms of investment strategies, or maybe just saving it aside. What are you doing with the profits?
Basically, bro, my life expenses didn't rise. I am literally like living super, let's say humble and super low. The only expensive things I bought was like an apartment and my AMG in Germany. But beside of that, I am like most likely helping my family, like supporting them with their projects. And for me, I am like cool with that right now. Yeah, obviously it's time for a next level, but I know like the day will come where I will hit a 6-digit month, and 6-digit is insane. But yeah, most of the time I'm just saving, investing the money, and living like maybe I spend 1 to 2K a month. But right now, the last few months, let's say the last 2 months, I spent a lot because like I was buying new stuff. Now, for example, for my parents and for myself. Oh, you need a new MacBook. You got one, but you still want a new one. You buy it, and you need, for example, I have a 4K PC in Germany for my setup, and I like to play video games as well. And then I bought like a 4K, and with the whole setup like 8K for Turkey, and stuff like that. So when you need something, you can like buy and like spend a lot. But else, I'm like literally living super like low and just chill, you know.
I want to ask, because off camera you mentioned you have very traditional parents, and you're saying this is the first period in your life where you're living independently away from home. I'm sure all of these changes that have happened in your life in the last 2 years, financially and also independence and so forth, and going from like being in the house and your family helping you to maybe now you contributing towards the house, all of these changes that have come in a short time, what have you learned?
What have I learned? I learned that we shouldn't take life serious, but I mean with serious not in a way I just do what you want, waste your life. I mean like, if you have a bad day today, doesn't mean you have a bad day tomorrow. If you have a bad year this year, it doesn't mean your year next year will be bad. So just try to enjoy like literally every moment. Like I can't say it like often enough. It's like enjoy every moment. People say, no, I can't. I'm at rock bottom. Even me, even when I suffered back then, I still enjoy it. I was like, I know this is just a period of time and it will pass. For example, I see my life like as a timeline. Yeah. 0, you're born here, it's like 80 and you will die, for example. And you're literally somewhere here between. So when you zoom out, you know there's a lot coming, and it will come to everyone. Doesn't matter who you are. And that's what I learned. Like life is random, believe in God, do good stuff, and good stuff will come. And now you will never see me flaming or throwing negativity around other people for no reason. You will never catch me do that, because I focus on my own lane. I'm looking on my lane, on the people around me, my friends, families, all the loved peoples, and I just want to see them as well happy. And on the bonus side, I want to make other people happy, because I'm literally getting everyday messages like literally long messages on Instagram. Grecko, you're doing this, you're crazy. I swear I want to be like you. I understand your struggle. I understand it is hard. University dropout. Everyone is like hating and saying, don't do trading, it's not worth it. And now that's what I can say. Life is like, voila, it's like a miracle and it's crazy. Enjoy it.
I said this similar things, which was when I had... Today feels better because I remember so clearly the days of struggle. And if I always had like a great life and everything was easy, you wouldn't appreciate it. I think the lows make the highs better.
It's important, yeah. It makes it sweeter.
You look back. And another thing that I learned was, although financially things have changed for me, what I do for fun and what the moments I enjoy. For example, now with the team of the pod, we did a tour to the US, and although we did things crazy, we had a crazy villa, crazy everything. In the end, playing FIFA with the boys was the moments, and that's what I was doing when I was dead broke too. So financially, it does change a lot, but you gotta remember what changes, what enjoyment comes from.
Exactly, and I have also one thing now. I am like thinking a lot in life in general. Now I am like the philosopher, maybe. I'm like thinking really a lot about different stuff, and I see the details in life, and I appreciate everything. And what I come to a conclusion. It was a few days ago, I think. It was someone who has nothing, for example. Like, let's say he's like, he has a difficult life, working 9 to 5, going to university, whatever. But he plays at the afternoon FIFA with his boys or Counter-Strike with his boys on Discord. I bet he's in that moment happier than some of us who chill in Dubai, rent a Lambo or whatever. I can literally bet on it, because the thing is, the more you see as a gummy band philosophy, the more you want to see, because everything else is just small and little. It will not like satisfy you anymore. And that's like also a trap. Now people want more and more. Some guy is like buying a Rolex and he's moving to a AP and then to a Richard Mille, whatever, And then from like this special unique watch to another watch and to another car and then to one of a 50 car. But still, I know, and nobody can talk this out of me. I know, just because he's doing it, he lacks like a true way of joy now in life, because I can see it from me when I was chasing stuff like that. And I'm looking now back, I know I was not happy in that moment. And for example, right now, I said I have like little to no expenses, because obviously I could buy like now crazy stuff. At the same time, you have goals, dreams you want to now get. For example, I want like an Audi R8. Just now, so I can say I got it, because I was always dreaming about it back then. But then the trap will start maybe. Then you're getting inspired. Oh, Ferrari, and then this. And then you start to not see what you have and you want more. It's not bad, but it's just like the guy who plays FIFA, the broke guy, he's happier than the guy who's like chasing the next Ferrari. It is what it is now.
The analogy you're giving right now is the life I've lived. I've gone from this watch to the next brand to the rare watch I've done that whole thing. And I did catch myself along that journey of like, okay, what am I doing it for? Is it to impress people? Is it to seem like the cool guy? Am I living true to myself, or am I doing it for the internet? Or these kind of thoughts came in. When you reframe and you decide why you're doing it, these things will never make you happy. It's kind of like a thrill, or like you have the goal, you go and get the goal. But when you've done it and like you have, you realize at the end of that buzz moment of like the dopamine of like that first day or two, and then you do look at him like, it's just another watch.
It's like, okay, no, it's cool.
But the other things in life that we had the whole time, the family, the relationships, everything that we have from rich or poor, is what makes life. And I think for myself at least, I reframe from chasing anything to more be like dominating today. What is the goals of today? Because I know that will lead to all of that stuff eventually anyway.
And I got also like another quote, I like made it up. The most valuable currency are social connections. Because in Turkey, I moved to Turkey, I am living alone there. It is like the best time of my life, but at the same time, I have like a lot of time to think, you know. I'm sleeping really late, around 4 a.m. whatever, 4 a.m. But I have like a big balcony connected to my office, and I'm like literally 90% of the time I'm chilling either on my office or balcony, you know, and I'm seeing like the whole city. And I was thinking about something, and I came to a conclusion that you can have millions, you can have all the cars, but what really, really fulfills your soul, not even your ego, your soul, are like true friendships, you know, like friends, not even like, let's say, business friends where like you're eating like a $1,000 steak and you're like, oh, yeah, bro, was cool, see you tomorrow. But like true friendships, like really like where you can like openly do stuff, like weird stuff, you know, like the true inner problems of each other, and like you understand like everyone is going through a different journey, but at the same time, if I don't know, he doesn't like to trade but he's broke, but I'm rich and I'm trading, but still like we are both like now
equal. Yeah.
And that stuff. And yeah, I was thinking about it, and I was like, bro, I am chilling alone in Turkey nights. I'm still vibing, like don't get me wrong, I'm still like literally vibing and happy, but it's a different happiness compared to when I'm chilling in Germany, just doing silly stuff with my friends, now like chilling with 4 people and now just chilling and smoking and talking about life. That's like a different way of happiness and joy and fulfillment than everything else will get you. And that's like a conclusion that hit me like really deep, because now I'm feeling it, because now I'm like alone and maybe around cool business guys. I love you all, you know, it's like really cool here, but it's like different, you know, it's like, I don't say it's like better or worse, but just different, you know, like the same stuff with the risk management stuff. It's just a different risk management technique, whatever, you know.
There we go. Grecko, epic episode, and thank you for coming down, and hopefully the viewers enjoyed it too.
Appreciate it, brother.
Cheers, my man. There we go.